let's put ourselves in the hypothetical that I was 20 again. I have $1,000 in my account, no following, no businesses. It's a start over from scratch. Here's how I would turn $1,000 into freedom. Step by step, no BS. All right, get to it. Firstly, I don't think it's a good idea to blow it on trash. So this involves things that people claim to be fast vehicles, whether it's meme coins, it could even be like drop shipping courses or any courses that claim that you can make money really fast. Because here's the thing, even if the course is good and it is a viable place to learn this information from and save you a lot of time, you're not going to be able to utilize it. Why? Because you've never gone down, put your foot into the water to actually try the business. Okay, this is real life. The game isn't flipping $1,000 into $1 million overnight. Okay, that's not the goal. I mean, that is the overarching goal, but it will not happen overnight. I see this time and time again. People are looking for ways to do it fast. That's not what you should be looking for. You should be looking for ways to make that 1K into 2K. Okay, and then scale up as time goes on. But even then, I don't think the focus should be on money, because every time, and I'm telling you this from personal experience, every time I focus on the money and not what I'm actually putting out there, my income goes down. It, like, every time. I've done this multiple times throughout everything that I've tried. The moment I start focusing on money, oh, I need to make more money, oh, I need to invest somewhere, I don't know where it goes. Like, it just goes to stupid decisions and me losing the thing that even brought me up, which was my input, right? Whether it's a business, whether it's a freelancing job, it doesn't matter. Take it at face value. Things that you should be looking into at this range of $1,000 is picking up a skill, finding some sort of leverage, and speed. Okay, not flexes. You're not here to flex your money, okay? You're here to learn stuff. So skills is probably one of the easier ones that I feel like people can digest, but it's also one of the most powerful. This is where honestly I would put maybe $200 to even $500 on. Basically, you look for a skill that is monetizable. Now, if you're a bit younger than 20, you might have time, like free time on your hands, but let's say in this hypothetical you're 20. You're probably in college. You still have your breaks, okay? During these breaks, pick up a skill. And here's the thing. If you don't enjoy picking up monetizable skills, let's say you just, I don't know, you have issues with motivation, you have issues with not having a passion for it, maybe intertwine your passion with it. Maybe you've always wanted to start a clothing brand. You'll have to learn video editing. It's in the way of you learning how to make a clothing brand, but because of the fact that it's aligned with one of your goals, it is a cheat code. So for me, when I was younger, like this is probably younger than 20, but basically I wanted to be a content creator. And to become a content creator at that time, by the way, not right now, but at that time I had to learn how to make intros. I had to learn how to edit. I had to learn how to use Photoshop. And so you see, all these skills were just kind of in the way. I had to get these done to reach my goal, and I was going to reach my goal no matter what. That's a little cheat code for you. Now, things like courses and like cheap mentorship could help at this stage, but I really do think it's invaluable to do this once yourself, because it builds up the confidence. If you could do it once and reach some sort of goal, you could do it again and again and again. I think at this stage, AI is definitely something you should utilize. I don't see why you wouldn't utilize it. All right, we're building around AI at this point, and so I think it's very important. Now, in the workplace, it's a little bit different, but these skills could also matter. So maybe finding yourself a place to work that has something that's related to what you do. For example, let's say in the future you want to get into real estate, so you start paying for real estate classes and work on your license. There's ways and steps to do it. Feel free to use AI. Literally anytime I get an idea, like just the other day, I was thinking about a luxury vacation spot that I can make somewhere in Asia because things are cheaper in Asia. So I was thinking about that. And I literally asked it, like, what are the pros and cons? What do I need to do? Give me some actionable steps. Use what's there in front of you. I see so many people just going like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start or something. There's no wrong way to do it. But genuinely, the fastest way to turn 1K into some income is to trade it for skill. Because at this range, you are not trying to preserve that 1K, okay? Nobody in their right mind is going like, oh, I need to keep this 1K or I will lose my life, okay? You'll be fine without the 1K. The point is you're investing it, not into cash, making cash vehicles. You're investing it into yourself. Then you can go on to selling whatever skills that you curated in the earlier step. Now, skill stacking is also really important. A good example of this that I heard the other day from a friend is it's also the reason why some college majors have a second language intertwined into the curriculum, because all of a sudden you don't just do computer science, you do computer science and happen to speak Spanish, increasing your chances of having value to the company that you work for. So the same thing applies with freelancing. Let's say you're an editor, but also you're pretty good at music mixing, but also you're pretty good at this and that and that and that, right? So if you stack these skills up, all of a sudden you're kind of like this mixture and you're more valuable to the seller. But again, I would recommend doing something that you are familiar with, as if you have someone, maybe a friend that also does it, it really helps to have that sort of person. For example, when I was in high school, I used to have all these sneaker resellers like doing these weird bots that would buy the sneaker really fast and then they'd resell it to some random person at a different school. Maybe it's vintage, maybe it's Facebook Marketplace for you. Look around. But if you really have no one, again, the internet is free. You can just find people that are doing these things and copy the general workings around it. Don't be shy. Feel free to use whatever you need to. Use platforms like Fiverr. They take a cut, but that's okay. Upwork, Twitter, TikTok, it doesn't matter. The point is there's multiple places you can pick from, so pick one. And at this point, you have to get good at failing. I see a lot of people really nervous about getting hired. How are you even going to find clients? They need work, okay? Take it from someone that hires people and hires freelancers, myself. I need people to help me out with my stuff. Okay, so at the end of the day, there's always a need. There's always a necessity for it for business owners. Now, after this point, I think reinvestment is very smart. Very, very smart. And I see a lot of people get this wrong because online I see a lot of people investing into Roths, investing into funds, investing into stocks. But I'm going to keep it a buck, okay? I've been at this since I was 16. It is not going to make you a lot of money if you're just putting a few thousand in there. All right, I'm going to keep it a buck. Because remember, you only get 7%. 7% of $1,000 is $70 a year. That is nothing, okay? You're better off investing in yourself, or what I prefer to do is investing into ROI tools. That includes, at least for me, like back then it was content. That includes a better laptop, PC upgrades, software upgrades, camera upgrades, you name it. It doesn't matter what it is, because there will be upgrades that you can make along the way. Just make sure it actually pays off. So for me, it was a mic. Now I got $1,000 mic because I did content. Now I got a $4,000 PC. Why? Because I did content. You see what I'm getting at? I do think some of it should be put aside, and you could invest it if you'd like. But the method, or the thing I kind of realized, is my capital is well better spent on these active incomes while I'm young, so that later on I can dump a bunch of money into investments that'll basically be my money makes money method. So I think people just get into it a little young, especially when there's so much money out there to be made. So that's a little bit of my hot take. I think 20% of it though should be put into experimenting. Experiment your idea. If the idea doesn't work, go to the next idea. You know, whether it's YouTube, Shopify, content creation, maybe like you're doing some networking event stuff in the internet space. It doesn't really matter. At this point, the money that you invest should make you more money, at least a little bit. So I would say the split is 40% into tools, 40% into assets of some sort. I honestly just look at it as a second bank account that I can't touch because I can't buy stuff from it, and 20% into experimentation. That's my recommendations. What I would avoid is hype, okay? The faster it goes up, the faster it goes down. That happens time and time again. Try avoiding the crypto hype. Try avoiding unproven coaches. Try avoiding the luxury mindset BS. They're selling you something. That's just how it is, okay? Trying to copy others instead of leaning into what you're actually good at could probably waste you a lot of time. Take advantage of what you know. Another thing I see a bunch of my own friends do is analysis paralysis. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. Again, you just take action, okay? Take action, because then you could actually worry about stuff that happened for you to worry about it. You know, why are you worrying about hypothetical stuff? That's not going to help you. But yeah, honestly, that's how I would flip $1,000 in my 20s into basically where I'm at right now, and where I plan to be in the next year is around 5 mil. So, okay, my fault. Not next year. Next few years, I don't know. I don't have a timeline on it because I'm just gonna be pumping in time, pumping in effort every single day because I value taking action. $1,000, I'm gonna keep it a buck though. Won't change your life, but it can definitely direct you in that direction. Whether it's through a 9 to 5, whether it's through a business, it doesn't really matter. You get to choose that. That's the freedom we get. The earlier you learn how to turn cash into a skill and skill into cash flow, the faster you will win this game. Subscribe if this helped you. Even an ounce. Peace.